Well, until recently, most college campuses were places that welcome such political leaders and commentators across the spectrum to spark civil discussion and debate on social and political issues. Civility, though, wasn't front and center on social media in the wake of the violence yesterday, with some reactions actually costing people their jobs, including Middle Tennessee State University's Assistant Dean of Students. Our Aaron Cantrell spent the day at his alma mater talking with students about that firing and the tragedy.
Intellectual growth is at the core of pursuing a college degree. With it often comes differences of opinion.
We still have that freedom of speech, and we should still fight for that freedom, and we shouldn't be silent.
As one of Tennessee's largest universities, MTSU frequently welcomes guest speakers to campus.
Dr. Fauci should be in prison for what he did over the last year.
Having children is more important than having a good career.
Sometimes controversial ones, like Charlie Kirk.
Even though he was very pro Second Amendment right, that doesn't mean he should have died at the hand of a gun.
They have to understand that this was a man with a family. There was more to him than just being a conservative.
For students here, his assassination was gut-wrenching to watch unfold.
There were so many people around it that had to witness that and had to, live with that now.
I'm very disgusted, disheartened.
At the same time, it's fueled even more debate.
I understand he was a big figure, but also had the same energy towards school shootings, I think.
MTSU President Sidney McPhee says differences of opinion and freedom of expression are encouraged among students. But for staff members, public employees, he says trust is essential. That's why McPhee says the university fired its assistant dean of students after she posted a Facebook comment many felt compromised her ability to remain fair and even-handed.
I don't think this type of speech is helpful to anyone. She may not have liked him, but that does not mean she has to say something like this about the man.
Working with students from all different backgrounds, I just think that was completely out of pocket to say.
And it is out of pocket to say. And one of the reasons that it's out of pocket to say is that even though we protect our freedom of speech, it's not freedom from consequences. And your character often at times reflect the university, your employer, and it affects all of that. And so unless you are willing to deal with the consequences on the back end of the repercussions of saying some of the stuff that you're saying, y'all saying this stuff online, it's not hidden. People are literally, and I'm not saying it is necessarily right because I don't believe in doxing people, but people are finding you and they are finding your employer and they're deciding that they no longer want to do business with you and they asking y'all. And so now this dean is fired. And this is no different than what happens on a lot of these people, for a lot of these people, and that they are chasing y'all down and they are firing y'all and they are doing it without any kind of reservation whatsoever because to take a political stance. Let me just say this for the people that's stupid and the people in the back, because I want y'all to continue to talk. However, for those of you that may be a little bit more wise, because I don't want y'all to not be able to provide for y'all family, shut up. You remember how a lot of people, including black people, were saying stuff like, he doesn't deserve empathy or whatever. That's cool. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to extend to anything. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure that the right or people that support Charlie Kirk, including myself, is looking for your empathy. We don't want to be friends with y'all. The thing about it, though, is wouldn't you want to preserve your ability to provide for your family, or do you think that it's necessary for you to spew your unsolicited opinion online expressing how you're not interested in empathy, and so now people don't have any empathy when it comes to whether or not you can feed your family, since you don't have any empathy or sympathy over the idea that a woman is widowed and children lost their father. And so now you have the assistant dean and so many different people. Oh man, I got a ton of videos that are coming for y'all about all of the different people that is getting fired and all of the people that is getting let go from their jobs, and y'all thought that y'all was safe, and you didn't know that your IP address was able to track you, and that you have a history online, and you think that you can post it and then discard it. You made a decision. Y'all not even smart. People that's not smart enough to understand that this was going to happen to them, I'm not even sure that they need to be in these positions in the first place of leadership, because If you can't lead yourself to make a smart decision, then why should you be the assistant dean of students? You can't be this dumb. It's impossible for you to be this ignorant.
Actually deepens my trust with the administration of this campus, know that we won't tolerate stuff like that.
And despite the tragedy and controversy,
Taking guns is the beginning of the end of the rest of your freedoms.
these students say they still plan to speak their minds, hoping their voices can help shape a more respectful climate.
And listen, it's happening all over the United States of America. People are getting fired like crazy.
Following the news of Charlie Kirk's death, people around the country have been voicing their opinions on the shooting. Some people have been fired from their jobs after commenting on it. WRL's Willie Daniels spoke to an attorney today about whether these terminations are legal and what employees need to know.
Tonight, multiple people around the country have lost their jobs after commenting on the death of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. Victoria Kepis is an attorney practicing in North and South Carolina.
In North Carolina, most employees are at will. And that means that your employer can fire you at any time for any reason or no reason.
A Carolina Panthers communication coordinator was fired after allegedly posting an Instagram story saying, "Why are y'all sad? Your man said it was worth it," with a photo of Kirk. Soon after, the Panthers released a statement saying, "The views expressed by our employees are their own and do not represent those of the Carolina Panthers. We do not condone violence of any kind. We are taking this matter very seriously and have accordingly addressed it with the individual." In South Carolina, a similar situation. A Greenville teacher was let go after posting a quote-unquote inappropriate message on social media regarding Kirk's death. Kepis tells me it's best for employees to err on the side of caution.
Just be very conscious of what you're putting on your social media. Be aware that your employer is likely watching. And, the best course of action is to, remain private. And when I say remain private, I mean, don't post things publicly on the internet that might, upset your employment.
No. Keep doing it. Keep posting. Keep showing it. Keep expressing your thoughts on every single thing that you think on social media. I'm a C student, but I talk about this often at times, that before I retired from corporate America, the first and the second time, the first time, I needed my benefits. I needed my healthcare coverage. I guess maybe I didn't need it because I was doing really well. Regardless, I was working in corporate America, and I was working for a bank, but I also understood that my views and my thoughts as expressed on the internet, and this was prior to the pandemic, because I retired at the end of 2019. Seems like such a long time ago. My views and my thoughts that were expressed online and on social media was a reflection of the company because it was public information where I worked. And so I was very careful of my speech, of my rhetoric, especially going into leadership, and I was in a leadership position because I did not want that to affect my bag. And it wasn't until I retired and I started really focusing on doing my own thing that I was like, you know what? I have the freedom to be able to say and do whatever it is that I want to do when I want to do it. Even when I went back into corporate America because I got recruited and they offered me something that I just couldn't refuse, I helped them to understand that this is who I am. And more importantly, I was willing to deal with the consequences that came along with my speech and my actions. And it was a very good run. And then I retired again at the end of last year. So my point is this. Freedom of speech is essential. You should be able to say what you want to say when you want to say it. Freedom from consequences aren't. And so you need to evaluate your individual situation. But more importantly, I would like for you to keep talking because we need to know who's who and where you stand on the spectrum, whether we talking politically, spiritually, and all of that. Keep talking. I'm with it. And I know that y'all can't help but to keep talking anyway. You tell on yourself because the devil will always show his face. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'll let you guys later.